Hi everyone, today we're going to be solving the Practice It Java Edition 5 exercise 7.19, and this problem is called wordLengths for this exercise. And the problem reads, write a method called wordLengths that accepts a scanner representing an input file as its argument. Your method should read from the given file, count the number of letters in each token in the file, and output a result diagram of how many words contain each number of letters. Use tabs before the asterisks so that they'll line up. If there are no words of a given length, omit that line from the input. And this is the for example, and this is what it should output. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to have to create the actual method. So public static, and we're not going to return anything because we're printing something in this method. So I'm going to do void word lengths and scanner in. So there we go, we have created the method. Let me just delete these empty spaces for now. And then after that, we're going to have to create an array. Let's just name this nums, and we're going to be keeping track of each of these values that we see using this nums array. And it said that, where does it say? Oh yeah, right here. You may assume that no token in the file is more than 80 characters in length. So if we set this to new int, going up to 81, then that means that 80 is going to be the highest. And to use this scanner right here, we're going to be using a while loop, and we're going to keep reading the file while it has input. So while in dot has next, so while it has something that we can pull out, so if it has the next value we can use, and then we're going to set nums in dot next, and we're going to do length dot length. So what this is doing is this is getting, so in this example right here, it's checking if, first of all, let's start from the top, if there's a next value, so this is the next value, so before is there, so it's going to go into the while loop. And then in.next is also referring to before, and the length of before is 6. So then the index value of 6 in this nums array that we've created is going to get incremented by 1. So we're saying, so nums, and the index should be 6 because before has 6 characters, and we're adding that to 1, and that's just keeping track of how many of each word has how many characters. So in the first index, there are going to be words that only are 1 character, like I, or yeah, I think I is, oh, I and A maybe. And then 2 characters, there can be these 2 character numbers that we see in this example, right here, here. And yeah, so it's gonna just keep on adding 1 to the array every time it runs into a word that has the same number of characters. And now what we're going to do is we're going to print out the values that matter. So we don't want to print out ones that are 0. And there are obviously not going to be any characters that have a length of 0 either. So what we're going to do is we're going to set I equal to 1 for this for loop. And I has to be less than nums.length. And then I plus plus. Then the first thing we need to check is the array, nums I has to be not equal to 0. Because if you think about it, if this array has a value that's equal to 0, that means that there are no words with that length. And as you can see, none of these say 0 on the right. And that's because we're only printing the ones that matter. So right here, if there are no words of a given length, omit that line from the input output is what it's saying, and that's what we're doing here. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna print out this part right here. And to do that, we're gonna use some formatting from Java. So system.out.printf is how you use the formatting. And then we're gonna do a %d colon %d /t comma I comma nums I. So this is going to format our program to make sure we have 2 and then the colon, and then we have a space, then we have 6, and then this big tab. And that's going to do, this statement's going to do all of that for us. And now all we need to do is print out these asterisks, right? And that part is pretty easy. We're going to do int j equals 0, j is less than nums.I. Oops. And then we're going to print out the asterisks. Then at the very end, we're going to print out a line so that the formatting does not get messed up. And if you are a little bit confused on what this part is doing, is basically we're just outputting this number of asterisks. So if this is 6, then it's printing out 6. So it goes up to nums of I. So each of these values are nums of I, and it's going up to that each time it's printing. So now let's run this and see if it's correct. And there you go. I hope this was helpful.